It's been 1 year since a Kaduna-bound train from Abuja was attacked by suspected terrorists. It was one out of many attacks by gunmen.
On the 28th of March 2022, the Kaduna-Abuja train incident became the latest on the ever-growing list of attacks carried out by armed terrorists. The assailants derailed the train by setting up explosives to blow up a section of the track. They then opened fire on coaches and kidnapped about 63 passengers. Security operatives confirmed that 9 people died, while 28 others sustained severe injuries. Abdulmalik Atta's 85-year-old mother was among those who spent over 6 months in the forest. While the hostages languished in captivity, their loved ones held a series of protests demanding for their release. 1 year after, Mr. Abdulmalik recounts his mom's harrowing ordeal.
She came back from a medical trip when this incident happened about a year ago. At least I went to pick her things. A majority of what she had in her bag were the drugs, the prescription she had that should take her over a period of time. For her to now spend about 6 months without taking drugs, sun, rain, cold, everything was on them. But thank God they are all out today.
He was also a member of a 7-man committee, which was later set up by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo. They were tasked to secure the release of the last batch of 23 hostages, which they successfully did. It was alleged that the terrorists were given millions of naira as ransom for the captives. As Nigeria gears up to move to a new democratic dispensation under new leaders, Abdulmalik is calling for improvements in the security of lives and properties.
You can't have a government within a government. That is one point that the committee, the CDS committee, has stressed. All we need to do is show commitment, and there should be synergy amongst the security operatives for us to have a common cause towards actualizing peace in Nigeria.
Damaged tracks have been repaired, and the NRC has since resumed train services. Passengers now have to present their national identification number before they are permitted to board. Stiffer security measures have also been put in place to protect the train and all those who board from attacks. Luper, Asom, TVC News, Kaduna.
A coalition of civil organizations have asked the government to caution those planning to disrupt the peace and unity in the country to desist from such move. Inyolu Akpopola has details.
On the 25th of February and 18th of March, Nigerians went to the polls to elect a new president, governors, and lawmakers to represent them for the next 4 years. While the Independent National Electoral Commission marked the exercise as free and fair, controversies are yet to end over the conduct of the elections in some states. A coalition of civil society organizations wants aggrieved political parties and members of the public to desist from hate speeches, misinformation, and direct any infraction through Election Petition Tribunal and the courts.
The Constitution does not permit for aggrieved candidates or party to engage in peddling of fake news, hate speech, lies, falsehood, misinformation, incitement, campaign of blackmail, intimidation, and calumny against the state through threats of breakdown of law and order. We urge the government to activate all these law enforcement agencies to act swiftly.
We should not overeat the polity with reckless statements, and young people need to be reined in, truly, especially those ones who are on social media, peddling fake news, telling people what is not, and changing the narratives.
While Nigeria marked 24 years as a democratic country in May, this group say the government should put in more effort to ensure peace and progress in the country.
I think it is our responsibility to call on the security agencies to rise to the occasion and perform their responsibility, which is to maintain law and order. Because when there's a breakdown of law and order, the onus falls on the security agencies, to do the needful.
The 2023 election was marked as one of the most anticipated elections in Nigeria's history, with youths, women and men all coming out to vote. But the advocates have stated that the laws and constitution should be upheld judiciously by both the leaders and members of the public. In Popola, TVC News, Lagos.